Thank you for the invitation. I remember that we come back, begin with the video. Okay. We found these videos of 2007 when a tremendous flood in Villahermosa, Tabasco. That is in the south of the country. This city close to the sea and the river Grijalva, that is very big, have this tremendous flood and a lot of problems in that moment. That was like a big problem for the country. And then with that, they need to make in the government a wall that for 100 years you cannot have a problems in the city, but then you don't have relation anymore with the river and the city. So what we did then is to make a big dock with plazas and public space and a new relation with the nature and the landscape that we can have in the riverside. And how come then we come back this connection with the historical center of Villahermosa, with these plazas and restaurants to get in the shadow. And in the other side, I will tell you later, is like a popular town that Gaviotas. So we make in the two sides of the river an important connection. It's a government project. We need to make something that is not easy to make details in this kind of project. So we have to be really smart to have a language with some only with concrete maybe and trying then to have all the spaces for this. Okay. For me was for me was really something strange to do this scale of building, because the kind of buildings I do, like some cultural buildings, trying to work with materiality, the memory of our culture in these different projects is something that are in our studio. And with all this connection with vegetation, with the interior and exterior spaces, and relation with obviously the nature. But then now we have this big, they invite us to do this, and then we have to make a good investigation. This is the place where is Tabasco, and then here is the place of the Rio Grijalva was in this city that is growing the city, but at the same time this big river, the second more big river in the places, happens. But the problem was that even not only in 2007 we have the flood, we have in different moments, like you see in 27 or other days, a big problems of the flood on the places. It's a very nice place with memory in the historical buildings, and they have a very beautiful past, but then they begin to have many problems. We found these photos, and then as you see here, happens this big problem that happens in all the different places, and they have to make an important decision to make that big wall. When they make the wall, as I said before, they put away the river and the city. And then with that, we cannot touch the wall. We need to, nobody sees anymore the river, and we cannot touch the wall because it's that's something that cannot happen. So how can we make intervention in the places with all these rules? No, here you can see before of our intervention. It's very nice, the river, even the vegetation, but was without connection with the city. Okay, with that we begin to see we need to have this landscape natural, and we want to leave it like that because it's, the thing is the water goes all the time to this riverside, and the only way is to really understood what happened with this kind of vegetation to make the new part. And then they invite us to do, as I say, this dock, this Malecón, that happens 3,500 meters every side, and then we need to make some interventions with the Malecón and then some buildings to work in the places. So here is one more time the finish of our intervention, 3 years that we work in this. And I will begin to try with you walking the places, no? And if you see in the section, we try to make the same section with different points, depends of the topography, and how can then we manage to make city, bicycles, and the place that the people goes. So here is the whole intervention, and then we can see the dog, we can see the relation with the street to make a new places for the houses, and then have a new experience with the landscape in the other side. How we make this? We don't touch the wall, but then we make a topography to make the dock to the top, and then to make this public space there. To make it the same language, to make everything in concrete really fast. We have a lot of constructor companies, so we need to really be something really hard that they can manage in that time, no? And then that's why we begin to have this new relation between this is in Gaviotas, this is the popular zone, that is nice. We have the same dock in 2 different economical zones. I have to say this is one of the 5 more dangerous cities because there's a lot of crimes. So how can you make something that is in democracy one side and the other side? So with that, we make these benches. This is places to make the light. We design everything like that. And then the relation with the riverside. With that idea, we try to get to this something important in our work, to make the stone of the places, to make some materiality. Then you can feel not only a wall, it's the invitation to go to the dock. It's important, like in the happens in the I didn't, let me see if I can go to the, okay. Okay, so with that, for us what's very important is not only not touching the vegetation, it's like trying to really be careful with the real vegetation was there all the time. And then this is the other size. The size happens in the historical center. One more time, the section we begin to change. Some sections depends of the topography. And then we have to make here some more hard plazas in the riverside because the water goes sometimes over there, and then after the water, they have to stay the floors in the places. With that, the important thing is now, one more time, you are seeing the city, you are seeing the river and the vegetation, and you are come back to see an important relation and the memory have many years before in the places, no? With all this idea, how can all the people can go in the places, and then, like here, when the water comes, it's not a problem. They come and back, and it's not a problem because they have to live like that. Okay, so with that, it was very incredible how come the people begins to be part of the city one more time here. They can have this public space that is important, a lot of energy with the people going there. And then finally, with the same kind of materials, we begin to make some pavilions for food. This is a very economical food restaurants that we have in the Gaviotas zone. And then how can you go and to have the boat to cross the river? And well, the idea one more time is how you can make some buildings that doesn't have not too much details because they are going so fast to do that. No, we make some sport places in the other side, and then how come they have these different zones like a playground for the children with all these elements inside, and some shadows to take some food when you are doing some sports. No? And then they make a very nice fields for baseball, for soccer, that now is important for the city. I mean, all this infrastructure that I think every city needs is a good opportunity to do that, and the shadow for these fields that they need. Everybody's now having very nice shadow with all the vegetation and with the places. No? The section is very important, and every time we see every moment is how can we have the wall that we cannot touch, but at the same time, how can we have a place, depends of the program. No? And then finally, we need to walk to the other sides, and then there was a cultural center that it was there already, and then with that we only do and change sometimes how come the benches and the light to have a relation one more time with the vegetation of the place, and well then finally we make these big places that you see in the video that were some plazas, some restaurants close to the cultural center. And then with that, the connection in the two sides of the city, they can really have this loop that you can go one part and the other part to have this the people going together to be there. No. So finally, the important thing is. It's an operation. The important is it's an operation, and the idea is how can, with common sense, we can have now that for us was very important to see how come the people begins to come to the places, to leave the places, to have a new connection with the river, with the nature, and with that we finally have because we have the danger of if we go up with the plazas, nobody can see it, but we see the way that with the stairs and with the ramps we can do that. Now in the night, the people can walk in the places. It's important because then you can go from the one town to the other town and without problems of criminal reasons. The people goes all the time. They can be even in the night meeting in the places. Doesn't happen before because the same problems. The important thing finally is how come with architecture you only make something that make the frame to have the river, the frame to have the nature. The architecture is the operation to make a public space, the operation to make again the relation in between the river, the nature, and the city. Thank you very much.